So welcome to another episode of the AI video generation with ComfyUI. So let's look together today why we should be using FramePack. I mean, there's no LoRa, there's no control with ControlNet. So why should we be using this, right? So let me share with you 5 use cases I found. And let's start by looking at in the previous video, we watched the director skill, right? Being able to use a reference video to really control what we are generating. So giving it a character and controlling the movement of the character. So we don't want to regress here. I mean, FramePack, it feels like another image to video where you only use the prompt to hopefully control what you're doing. So let's look at it a bit deeper there, right? So with FramePack, you have the Hunyuan FramePack model. There is no LoRa here. There is no control net where you can control the movement with the elements there with control net. So you only have prompt. So really you only have the influencer potential here of putting a prompt and making it move as you want. The movement will be a bit unpredicted and you'll have to retry many times, right? So what's up with FramePack then? Now FramePack has a very fast video generation. I mean, we're talking about 50% to 80% faster. It has a low RAM usage. I mean, with just 6 GB of RAM, you can run this and have a video generation that looks good. It's potentially a one-shot there. You can generate a whole 2-minute video over 3,000 frames and it will still work, right? So within my graphic card there. It has a strong consistency keeping there, so it doesn't degrade over time. And it has a good prompt adherence. You give it something basic in the prompt and it will follow it. So really, as an example here, I mean, if I take that image, pass hand through hair, it's looking good. Do a slow dance, still looking good. And you can see there's very low degradation over time, right? So that's very good. And again, this is just a prompt. I mean, it is following the prompt, which is good. Some small element that would force you to retry, but in general, it's very good. And you'll see the video rather long with a good consistency there. So here's 5 use cases, right? So with this, I mean, you could remove the background and have it be the background of your main character. You could use this as a basic cutscene, right? Because you don't need specifically something there. You just use the prompt. You can use it as an environmental shot, right? Something that would be, on the environment specific there. You could use it to do just simple generic action. I mean, something that you don't need to fully control as a director skill, just a general action. Or you can use it as a stock footage or B-roll there. I mean, just, between the YouTube video or something, you just roll another video, right? So those are potential use cases. I'm sure there's more, but those are the few I've come to think of them. So here's the workflow, right? I mean, it's the same workflow that we've been working with before there. I know we went toward the branching toward one. In this case is a Hunyuan model, but at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. I think here, I mean, you load whatever model that's needed and it will work, right? So the star on the bottom right there, those 2 stars are really the 2 new groups that I've added. So those are the one I'll be focusing on. The rest is pretty much almost the same thing. So I'm not going to be covering the rest there. So let's do a bit of zoom in. As usual, they're all groups. So you enable, disable as needed, basically. Let's zoom a bit more in there. See on the right, you have the toolbox. On the left, you have the fast video generation with FramePack. So let's zoom in toward the first group there. Let's just disable the toolbox for now and just focus on the fast image video generation. Or let's just go toward it there and have a look. I guess we don't need to disable it. Okay, so you can see here, I mean, the fast image to video generation, this is a rather simple setting there. I mean, some data entry on the left. You have the FramePack sampler. The sampler is where the processing magic happens. So this is the key element there. And you have the output video, right? So It's as simple as that. On the bottom, there's a few more elements there, but we'll cover these there. We'll zoom in a bit closer to really look at what they are exactly, right? So on the top left here, you have the VAE, right? So this is the one where you compress and uncompress and encode the whole thing there. So this is a Hunyuan one, but you just make sure you load the right one and it will work, right? Here you have the model itself. This is the FramePack model, right? So make sure you match it. This is the positive prompt. So you can see I keep it very simple. You don't have to be complicated with it. The encode there is very key because it needs to encode the first image. Again, this is a image to video, right? It's just enable you to do an image to video very efficiently. So on the bottom here, you have the load clip vision, a very important element there so that it can understand your image. You have here on the bottom the load image with the size there, you know, the resolution that you want. So that's very key. And here you have the resize, right? So with the largest size that you put on the bottom left there, it will resize your image to match the largest edge there, right? Either the width or the height. You have the steps, you have the seed, and you have the length. Now here it's not in frames as usual. This is in second. It has a FramePack has a way to deal with the frames itself there, right? So it's going to be predicting frames. So that's why you just tell it how many seconds do I want, and it will take care of the frames there. Here you have the entry of all the different data that you just set up. Now you have the T-cache. T-cache in this case is super key. It will help us, you know, increase the efficiency there of the generation. Normally I put 0.15. The higher you put, the more it's going to be fast but lower quality, right? Latent size window, I play with it a bit there. I mean, you can increase it. It's giving better result, but it's really slow things down. So I wouldn't play with it too much there. GPU memory, I put it to 6 to really show that, you know, within 6 it can run something decent. But if you ever run out of memory, you'll need to increase that a bit there. And you have the video combine, where all the settings is there for the frame rate and so on, as usual. Okay, so that's the withstanding fast image to video group. So hopefully we'll be able to use this soon there. Now let's look at the toolbox, right? So the toolbox here, I added this one simply because there was a few use cases where it makes sense to have this there. So I added it as a toolbox number 3. The goal here is to have your character, to remove the background for the video character there, and to overlay it over another video, right? So 2 video, one over the other. And that's why you have the remove background on top there. You have the positioning of the character, right? You can position it within that frame there. You have the background video, and then you have the resize, right? So you have to make sure that you make sure the size fits your character, right? So that, you know, the character size doesn't go over, right? So make sure you match those resolution there. So in this case, I'm zooming in, you can see the character and you can see the result here. Result is not super great. Since when I recorded this video, I've upgraded the node for the remove background. So it's a better node there. So you'll see it when I'm gonna run this. So I think this is the whole element there. So let's look at the 5 steps alignment. Are we still aligned with the 5 step there, the basic concept? So the text input prompt, it's still there. The video generation where you have to try and retry, it's definitely still there. There's the upscale, there's the loop if you want to even have longer video, even though it might not be as critical, and the merge, right? So let's look at the context of the FramePack, right? So again, text generation, I mean, you can put easy prompt, but with the text generation prompt helper, it's going to have an even more specific prompt. So you can definitely use it there if needed. The try and retry, I mean, it is adherence to the prompt that you put, but it's still a prompt, right? It's not exactly control net. It's not, there's no LoRa, so you'll have to try and retry there for a few times. Upscale, I mean, because it uses very efficiently the VRAM there, you can probably generate with something that's high quality already. But if you want even high quality, then definitely do the upscale. The loop, I mean, the main character, you might want to loop it more than the background there. So again, up to you there. I mean, the character could be more like director skill level, and the background more the FramePack there. And the final thing is the merge there, where you put the character over the background, right? So that, let's call that the merge. So okay, let's run this. So let's zoom in a bit into the control panel there. Disable the toolbox. Let's just enable the fast image generation, and let's zoom in here to the first group. So in this group, we're going to try to do the image to video with that image we see on the bottom left there. Now normally I would not be able to generate a lot of frames there with this, right? So we're talking about maybe 2 second, 3 second ish there. But with this, I mean, I can generate a very long video. We're talking about, almost 2 minutes if I wanted to, right? For the sake of this video there, I still generated a bit, a bit on the low side, but I'll try a much longer one whenever I can there. But you'll see here, I mean, I'm putting 5 seconds, right? I mean, 5 seconds would have taken me a very long time to generate. In this case, it was still very possible. In fact, my default value is 5 seconds at this point, right? It's not even a extreme value when I use FramePack. So you can see there, with 5 second video generated, I fast forwarded obviously, it's looking pretty nice. I mean, you have some animation there, you have the beautiful fireworks in the background. It's looking great. And this was just the first try, right? But again, the character is not moving, so it was not a very hard prompt there, hard video generation. So let's try something different. Let's go load another image, and let's try to force an action, right? To make it a bit more complicated. See if we can achieve it there. So there we go. I loaded the angel floating while sitting image there. So it's one I like a lot from my stable diffusion generation. Let's try to first, because we're doing trial and error, let's put a T-cache to 1 there, right? So to be really in the preview mode. The quality is going to be terrible, but it's going to be extremely fast, right? I'm going to even lower the step so that's even faster. So with this, we're really in a preview mode there. I would say it's 1/10 or 1/20th of the speed there that we're going to be doing. Now I changed the prompt a bit so that, it has angel wings spreading, glistening sand, and so on. And let's fast forward. Now you can see from the generation, I mean, the quality is low, but as a preview, it's pretty good. I mean, I can see exactly what's happening in the action there. I mean, I ask the prompt to point at us, I can see it. The wings is not spreading, so it's not adhering to that, but the pointing, it's definitely happening there. The water is moving, the sand is glistening, so it's not that bad for a first try. And I was happy it was very fast, so now I can change the prompt again and try to force the wing spread, right? Again, I'm in the influencer mode, right? I mean, I cannot control the action like with ControlNet, nor with LoRa. So all this is just describing what I want, describing it many times with many words in many ways, so that it really catches on that, oh, this is very important. Please make the wing spread, right? I'm going to change the seed also. I mean, because we're changing things a bit, let's change the seed also to get another result. So let's run this again, fast forward, and let's see. Okay, I think we have the wing spread. That's definitely a wing spread there. Again, ignore the quality level. I mean, we are not in a high quality mode there, but I can see the wing spread, which is great. I can see her hand moving toward us-ish there, right? So I think that's right too. Her face is barely moving, her head is barely moving, so maybe I want to change that a bit there. just to make it a bit more dynamic, right? Otherwise, she's a bit stale, right? So let's change the face position. Let's put she is lifting her head up so that, you know, we can have a bit of a movement of the face there. Looking down at the camera, right? So she's lifting her head. Let's see if that works. I'm not changing the seat because it's almost exactly what we want there, just a bit of difference. And let's run this. Okay, let's zoom in. Her head is lifting up toward us, which is great. She's lifting both hands, both arms to point at us there. Not what necessarily I had in mind. So that's why I'm telling you it's a bit of trial and error there. You roll some dice, but it is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Pointing at us, wings is spreading, she's lifting her head. So that's great, in fact, right? And we did 3 try, right? So it's really not bad there. And it was very fast because we were in preview mode. Let's go back to the 0.15 for the T-cache and the step to 20. Keep in mind, I mean, if you really want high quality, just disable T-cache and put these steps even higher than 20, right? Put 30 or 40. But be aware, it's going to take quite some time, right? So it's a trade-off, quality versus speed. So let's fast forward this because this will take a bit more time. And that's it, right? So let's look at what we got there. I mean, it's looking pretty decent. Oh, there you go. I mean, both arm, finger pointing at us there. Her wings are spreading. Quality is still very good. Her head is being lifted up and looking toward us. So you can see how the preview is really matching what we're getting, right? Unlike before where the preview, sometimes you have to guess what you're going to be getting there. In this case, it's pretty spot on. So that's why the preview here is really good there. I wouldn't be surprised if we can get even a better preview if we lower the steps a bit more, and it will probably still be good there. So that being said, let's look at the toolbox, right? So we have a character that we can generate either with the director skill or with the FramePack there, whatever it is. I loaded a new character video there. I loaded a new background too, right? So background is definitely because of the use case there. We just generate a random-ish background. I mean, it's not super important. It's that the background is specifically following some action there. So that's why it's okay. I mean, the car is moving a bit weird, but again, I could have regenerated it, but I didn't feel like it. So there we go. Now I've changed the remove background node there since I was recording this video. So it's not the same anymore. It's a better quality one. So you'll see the result here. It's okay quality, but with the one I'm going to be sharing there, the workflow I'm going to be sharing, it has an even higher quality there. So now it's composing all the video together, and that's it. You have the composite video. Now that, and we can see there from on the left side, this is with the new node that I added just recently. It's even higher quality, right? A bit less artifact because it's correctly removing the background at a closer value there. So that node is included, so don't worry. I mean, you can see here, let's just play around with the positioning of the character. Let's bring it up a bit and more to the left there. And let's run this. There we go. All right, so it's more to the left and more up there. So that's with the 2 new group that was added for the workflow, right? So the toolbox and the fast video generation with FramePack. So hopefully that's going to be useful to you there. Now let's go to the bonus section as usual. A couple of videos that I generated with all these new techniques. hopefully you enjoyed that. I mean, I had a lot of fun playing with the FramePack because finally I was able to generate a bit longer video than usual, to see more of what I'm animating, because I'm getting it way faster, right? There's less time to just sit and wait and hope to get something. So that's really cool, even though I wouldn't go back in time and lose the power of the control net and the director skew, right? So definitely there's a use case for having a specific control to be able to do or to follow a narrative that you want to happen there, but to fill it up with, other action, other video that might not be as critical to have the exact movement or exact element being followed there, because that's still a lot of work to make sure that you have that correct movement there and make it follow and so on there. Here, I mean, depending on what you're doing, it's just simply a action, a intermittent video between your main character doing something there, right? So definitely something to be used. So hopefully you enjoy that, and I'll see you around.